and welcome back to the Dreamcast. I am your host, Denise Walsh. I combine science, scripture, and stories that will inspire you to dive deep, break through your own personal glass ceiling, and design a life of your dreams.
Do you feel like you've not been able to make headway in achieving your goals? Or did you start the year pumped, ready to move forward on making things happen and simply lost your way? Things don't need to just get better. They actually can be better. In Design Your Dream Life, I'll show you a proven pathway to take you from where you are now to a life filled with joy, wholeness, success, and fulfillment. I'll give you the keys to not just developing a plan, but taking massive empowered action to make your dreams a reality. Turn roadblocks into stepping stones and leverage the power of gratitude and forgiveness. Let's face it, taking massive empowered action and making your dreams a reality isn't always easy. So I'll be there with you every step of the way. Visit dreamlifetoolkit.com to purchase your copy of Design Your Dream Life, obtain resources, and join our free community. Again, that's dreamlifetoolkit.com. Big welcome back to the Dreamcast. You guys, today is a special day. It is the 200th episode for the Dreamcast. So I thought that I would connect with you personally, do a solo episode. It's been quite a while since I've done that, and share with you a few things I've learned since starting the podcast a few years ago. We actually started it at the beginning of 2018. For those of you that have not gone back to listen to those early episodes, we hit the top of our company in 2015. We had been distributors with It Works since 2007 and had been at the top of the company in terms of our income rank and that kind of thing for quite a while. And then we hit the tippity top, which is Black Diamond, back in 2015. And I very quickly said, what's next? What's next? Like, I find myself very quickly wanting to learn and grow. Like, I say I'm content and ambitious, right? I love where I am and I know where I'm going. And so we hit that milestone and I very quickly was like, all right, what's next? And I did a bodybuilding competition in 2016 and I learned a ton about health and wellness and how to shift my own body, grow muscle, all that kind of stuff. It was super cool and very hard. And then in 2017, I wrote Design Your Dream Life, which is truly my workbook, is my signature book that shares the Dream Life Pathway, which is my program where I teach people the science, scripture, and I intertwine my stories really to help you get out of your stuck state and into growth. And the Dream Life Pathway is my head, heart, feet approach to achieving your dreams. And you'll need to read Design Your Dream Life to learn a bit more about that. The beginning of 2018 is when we started the podcast. And so the podcast for me was brewing for a few years. I felt like I had so much to say. I had people who were asking me, how do you do it? Tell me what to do. How do you experience success? If I were a fly on your wall, what would you do? And I realized I can't just answer that in a message. And so the Dreamcast was my way to coach, mentor, and share what I've learned over the past decade plus of being an entrepreneur with more people than just being, than I could physically message in a day, right? And so I've loved having this platform to do so. And what has really been elevation of that is being able to connect with such like-minded, goal-focused, heart-focused, growth-focused entrepreneurs within the Dreamcast as well. And as you may know, we talk about a little bit of everything. We talk about health, we talk about mindset, business, social media, relationships, parenting, marriage. I really do believe that you can live a Dream 10 life in all areas. And so thank you so much for plugging in every single Monday, listening to an episode, and then sharing the ones that really connect with you on your social media, in your stories, on Instagram, on Facebook, texting it to people, because that's truly how podcasts grow. So 3 things that I have learned over the course of the last few years with starting a podcast. The first one is time and energy management. So at first, when you're doing something new, it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of thought process. It takes a lot of brain space. It takes a lot of energy. The first few episodes, I remember recording them several times, and I put blankets around my closet to see if that would help. I had to get 3 microphones to figure out the one that would work best. I had to brain dump all my ideas for what the episodes would be about, and then organize my thoughts for interviewing and that kind of thing. So it took a lot of time. It took a lot of energy. It took a lot of brain space. And then once I got my system down, I hardly had to think about it. Once I connected with a agency and they helped to bring me qualified guests, I didn't have to think about that. I just gave them my schedule link and I would have podcasts show up on my calendar. Once I realized how to give a good interview, or I started doing them more, I realized I didn't need to have an hours of preparation, right? Just 15, 20 minutes before the interview. I sit down, I Google them, I look at the one sheet that they often give me, their website, that kind of thing. And I found that I could streamline the episodes to become easy. I think anytime you do something new, it feels hard. The promo pictures, the audiograms, the marketing. What am I going to talk about? How do I do this? How do I record? How do I edit? That kind of stuff. But once you figure out a system, then things become easy. And then it doesn't take as much time or as much brain space. And so what I had to do is give myself a few months to figure out my system. And then once I figured out my system, I could start layering things on top of that. The second thing that I learned was mindset. It's funny, I teach mindset, but my mindset isn't perfect all the time. And there are sometimes I am just tired, or I'm grouchy, or I'm not motivated myself. And so I've had to set aside time to dig in, to tap into myself again, to journal, to listen, to meditate, to read, to listen to motivational things so that I could feel on top of my game, to give you guys helpful content that helps you stay inspired. One of the things that would make me question if this was, quote, worth it or not, is the fact that you don't make money doing a podcast. You don't. You make money by selling products or having people join your team because they've found you on the podcast. And so the third thing that I learned throughout these last few years was truly to have the end in mind. And so when I would start to say, is this worth it? This is a lot of work. I'm not sure. I would do 2 things. I would remember why I got started, the stirring that I had years ago, 4 years, to really get this message out into the world for those who are ready to hear it. And it was stirring, and it stirred until I took full action on it. So I remembered why I got started, that burning sensation to share success ideas and thoughts and mindsets and identity and belief and the dream life pathway essentially with the world. And then the second thing is I really honed in on who I was serving. And that's you. Right? That's you. I'm serving you, the audience. I'm so grateful to have you here each and every week. And then I would start to say, all right, well, how can I best serve you? And how can I create products, services, courses, books that help you go to your next level? And so Design Your Dream Life, the workbook, was finally launched. We have 2 journals that connect with that, the Dream Life Daily Journal and Dream Life Every Day. Both of those journals really help keep you in the groove and connect your dream life pathway, your head, your heart, and your feet every single day. So you know what you want, you have full belief you can get there, and you're doing something every day to move the needle in your life and in your business. Design Your Dream Life, the workbook, really gives you the space to figure out what's next for you. Like, what dreams do I have? I don't even know. And it's a full-blown workbook to walk you through some of those tough questions and even space to heal, because sometimes we can't move forward because we're 3 steps behind. And so those products were launched and on the Dreamcast. We also had the Dream Space live event, which some of you came to back in January of 2019. It was my first personal development event. It was so stinking fun. 100 some people came into the room in a January. They flew in from Florida. We had some from Canada drive in, and Utah they drove. It was so special. Thank you to those who really had to come, right? To come. I really loved having you there. And I hope that you still are feeling the effects of that day. But that Dream Space live event was a really great next step for me because it helped me to grow in a whole new area of putting on my own live event with my own content and figuring out what that would look like. And then when that was over, we created it into an e-course. So we do have the Dream Space online e-course available on my website, denisewalsh.com, where I take you through pieces of the live event and give you the space, the exercises and things to work through it. So you kind of get the content, but right there in your own home. And then we were like, all right, what's next? What's next? Then we created the Dream Life Community, which is a paid group on Facebook, a mentoring coaching group where we talk all things mindset, health, action, marketing, sales, the mindset behind marketing and sales, that kind of thing. And it really helped you to level up in your life and in your business. So it is focused often on business success, on getting unstuck in your business, but often we talk about a little bit of everything because we know that your business will thrive when you're healthy. Your business will thrive when you have dream-filled relationships, right? Instead of drama-filled relationships. And so we talk about all of that stuff in the community. And then I had people starting to ask me, all right, how can I work more closely with you? And that's where the Dream Life Business Mastermind was born. And this year, during the year of quarantine, we have worked on the Dream Life Business Mastermind coaching group, which is we meet twice a month in a group, and then you get one-on-one call as well to really help people grow in their mindset and their skill set, because sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. And it's, we're like, I want to grow my business, but I need to learn Facebook ads or SEO, or I want to learn how to write a book and I don't know how, or I want to learn how to do this and I don't know how. So the Business Mastermind creates the space for that. And I think, if you're somebody who wants to start a podcast or write a book or start a blog, even, one of the things to consider is to have the end in mind. As I mentioned, the mindset was, is this worth it? Is this worth it? All this work, is this worth it? And I realized that when I focused on my why and I helped focused on bringing you products that would help you grow, then absolutely it's worth it. So when you begin with the end in mind, you would create your products first. And I didn't do that. I created products as the needs came in from the community and as you guys started asking me for more. But now when I'm coaching people, I say things like, all right, who's your niche? Who are you talking to? Specifically, who are you talking to? Are they a mom? Are they a teacher? Are they women? Are they a student? Are they a man? Are they working? Are they not working? Like, let's get so clear on your ideal client. And then what is the product you're selling? What are you giving them to take them on that journey? Is it a program? Is it an e-course? What is it? Is it one-on-one? Is it a physical product? What is it that you can give them to help them on their journey so that you are recouping some of the cost and of course making money as well? Who's your niche and what's your product? Because those two things, when you know who you're talking to and you can create content to speak to them, and you're taking them on a journey will help them, and you've got a product to sell, I can tell you, you will know it's worth it because you will be leading yourself and them somewhere. As I mentioned, kind of did it backwards. I created products along the way, and that is totally fine. But I would recommend for those who have a passion like I did to start something, begin with the end in mind and know where you're taking people. So last but not least, the thing that I'm super excited to share with you today is that we have another program starting to launch. So the Business Mastermind and coaching is really more about an online business community where you're learning Facebook ads and learning podcasting and learning how to market your business in different ways. But I know that some of us, especially after this year of COVID, need a big time kick in the booty. We need that energy. We need to tap in. We need to refocus. We need to say, all right, what's next for me and my family? And often, you guys, we don't create the space for that. We just don't. If it were easy, we would already be doing it. And so what I am going to offer starting in January is the Dream Space Live online workshop. So this is totally cool. It's different than an e-course, of course, because you're actually getting the training live. We're going to do breakouts live on Zoom. You're going to have it in your calendar. How many of you bought Dream Space, the e-course, and then didn't go through it? I know some of you have told me. And so I want to create a 6-week experience for you in the privacy of your own home, but with a community of people around you who will help you to dig deep and rise up strong. You guys, the world needs us to be loud. The world needs you to be loud. The world needs more love. The world needs more of that passion. Here's what I know. If you have an idea, a dream that has been brewing in your heart, it will keep brewing until you take full action on it. And there may be some things that I can do to help you create clarity on what to do next, or maybe even heal through or work through some things that may be holding you back. So we're going to talk all things clarity, mindset, retraining your brain. We're going to talk all things belief and life purpose and identity and limiting beliefs and stepping into your strong self. And then we're going to talk all things skill set, time management. What do you need to do on a daily basis to actually make progress in the direction you desire? So stay tuned for Dream Space Live online workshop, which will be starting here. I'm going to launch it in January. So starting next month, December is when we'll start talking about it and give you the space to sign up. And, I think that if you're at all like, this is what I need. Like, I need a kick in the butt. I need a refocus. I need a place to be fed because I feel dry. I feel empty. This is for you. My goal for this new online workshop is to give you that high level kick in the butt to help fill your cup back up so that way you can overflow and impact people around you. You guys, the Dreamcast has been such a cool way for me to learn and grow myself, to connect with some like-minded, high-level people. And I hope that you have gained so much value from listening to the Dreamcast yourself. Please, please leave a review if you have not already. Reach out to me, tag me on social media, share with me your aha moments, and then let me know by clicking the link below if you are interested in the 6-week Dream Space Live online workshop, which will be available pretty soon. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I so appreciate you. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I want to hear your aha moment from today's amazing episode. If you could leave a review at whatever podcast player you choose to listen from, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you're listening from, leave a review and share with us your favorite part of today's episode. Thanks for hanging out, and remember to dream big.